Hello everyone and welcome back to our European Journeyman series with Napoli at the start of our first full season at the club. Last episode we did lift the Italian Cup, so if you missed that, go back and check it out. We also had a look at how our former teams were getting on, and today we're about to kick off pre-season. In fact, we already have with a 2-0 victory over Dukla Prague, just a nice little warm-up match there. But we do have an interesting schedule of pre-season. We'll go through these 3 games in early August. Then we've got the Super Cuppa final against Juventus, where I'm hoping we can lift another piece of silverware. Then a couple more friendlies before we take on Bologna to start the league season, which is interesting because it starts right at the end of August. So it's a long way to go. Now, fortunately, I've already done all of my transfers already, so it'll give the team a long time to gel, get their tactics ready, and just be ready to hit the ground running, essentially. We will be entering the Europa League at the group stage, after finishing high enough in the table to qualify for that. That saves us a bit of trouble in pre-season. But I have to say, the transfers have been incredible this summer. There is no doubt about it. I completely overhauled the team. I let all the players I didn't want in the club go before I'd even signed anybody else. And it left me in a position of having just about, I think at one point we had maybe 13 players left in the first team. There was virtually nobody left. I completely gutted the squad and was as efficient as I possibly could be. It's taken me about 6 hours to sort out the pre-season, make sure we had the right transfers. I've put a lot of time into this and I'm hoping we get an incredible season. So if we have a look at the transfers and our transfer history screen, I mean, interestingly, you'll see that we do still have £15 million and 85 grand in the wage budget, so there could be another person coming in. But overall, I'm really happy with the balance of the squad. Now, let's start with the people going out, because there's a few people in here you might not expect. Jimmy Piet, a very good youth prospect, he has left the club for up to £25 million to Leverkusen, which is actually quite cheap. And remember, he had incredible finishing, but there is a reason that we let him go. The main thing is that we needed the money to cover the costs of other players. But Bernard has also gone to Marseille for just £10.5 million, bit of a cheap sale, that one. Traore going to Crystal Palace for £9 million, another cheap sale according to the game. Sensi went to Stade Rennais for up to £11 million. You'll see a theme here, a lot of these are quite cheap deals. Rog going, he is now valued at £20 million, so he was a big sale, not one that I wanted to do, but we just needed the cash. Kevin Dix, great name, but he's gone. He was off on loan last season. He was actually a decent right back. Again, he was another player that I didn't really want to sell because we were short on defenders. Rico, he went for £5 million, a goalkeeper that was not going to get in the team. All of these players completely undersold, but we really just needed the cash and I didn't want them on our books. Adama Traore going, I think the game's valuations of some of these players are a little bit ridiculous sometimes. Other big players, Svensson, a good utility player in defence, he's also gone. Who else have we lost? Gabbiadini obviously went on a free, Mass has gone on a loan, and Vida retired. But we managed to bring in £72 million, which is a decent amount of money to reinvest in the team. And we've spent £76 million of it. Now, the first player to come in was Mancini from Juventus. We sold a lot of defenders, and he is just a pretty decent centre-back. He'll come in. You'll see we're quite short at centre-back, but I'm hoping that this will be enough. We've got a few youngsters that I promoted as well from the under-20s and under-18s who are quite good, and we'll take a look at them as well. Kuro we signed from... Who did we sign him from? We signed him from Las Palmas, where he was decent for them. He was more because we were short in midfield, so he was another player that I don't expect to be in the first team, but will certainly be rotating in off the bench. Balbuena, a very good youngster signed from South America. I've only signed one player from South America because I really don't trust the Italian rules, and I'm hoping that he will fit the bill because he has had 18 under-20 caps, so he should be playing quite regularly and he's got incredible potential. First touch is brilliant, passing technique, vision, everything he needs to have brilliant is brilliant, and he's only 18, so he will really develop. Familiar play to everybody who's played Football Manager the last few years. Lucas Romero, he's still only 29 years old and we've brought him in to do a job in midfield. He'll be very good in that position alongside Asensio, Odja and Diawara as our main players in the centre. And Hysaj, we managed to get on a free from Barcelona, which I couldn't believe my luck when he came up. We'd already sold Svensson at this point. and we've managed to grab him on a free, and he will go straight in at right back and do a great job, just like he did for us when we were doing our Newcastle series. Daniel Torres we brought in from Benfica on loan. That's just to fill the job with Gabbiadini gone, because we were a bit short on attacking midfield right, although Florenzi probably will play in that position this season now that we have Hysaj at right back. Douglas Costa's still in the team because I can't shift him for a free. But the big transfer, which I could not believe my luck when it came up, is Rubens Raimundo. You might remember him from our time at Monaco when he played for Lyon. He's actually a player that I tried to sign when I was at Monaco quite a few times. I had bids of up to 70, 80 million pounds rejected for him, but we managed to get him because he was on the transfer list for just 36 million pounds and nobody else was bidding for him. He is an absolute steal. When you take a look at him, he has got predicted 5-star. He's currently 4.5-star, 19 dribbling, 17 finishing, 14 first touch, 17 heading, 17 technique, 20 determination is what I really love about him. And he's got great physicals as well, composure, anticipation. He is the perfect package, and we've managed to get him so cheaply. He is going to be the Simonson of this series, there is no doubt about that, and he is going to fire goals in left, right and centre. He didn't have the best goal scoring record in his previous clubs, but we've absolutely stolen him away from Lyon, and he's an EU national as well, as an Italian. So it is just going to be absolutely incredible having him in the team. Already played 15 games for Italy and got 9 goals. I can't wait to see him in action. I really think he's going to be next level good. If we have a look at his report, he has no cons whatsoever, but a lot of positives. So he will fire us. If we're going to be in the title race this season, which I have a feeling with the transfers we've made that we could be, he is going to be the big reason for that. Now, just having a look at the squad as a whole, you'll see in defence that there's a few players like Bertoli, who we've promoted from the under-21s for cover because you have that huge sub-bench in Serie A. We've also got Pacheco, who is out on loan. He looks like a quality player ready to be developed. They signed him on a free last season from South America, and I really think he could make a step up to the first team this season with a few games. Silla, another player we brought in, he can cover in defence. In midfield, Balbrino, obviously we signed. No youngsters in here. There is Antonsen, who we've brought in as cover in central midfield if we need him, and also Hugo Felipe, who's got a lot of potential. He was hiding in the under-18s. He's only 16 years old, but he looks like an incredible player, and he's developing at quite a rate. So he could be a big part of the future of the club. And then up front, it's going to be Morgan Stern and Raimundo leading the line. It will be a problem if they both get injured at the same time, so we don't really have any other strikers after letting Pia go. But I think we could probably convert Felipe to a striker. His finishing isn't very good, though, is the only issue. But I'm pretty sure this team is more than good enough to qualify for Europe. And the other good thing is that Serie A have got their 4th position back. They've skipped actually both the Bundesliga and Ligue 1, so that is why they've now got the 4th Champions League spot, which will make our job an awful lot easier. I have no doubts we'll qualify for Europe this season. It's all about whether we will be good enough to hit Juventus. I do think this is going to be a transition season, so I'm not expecting us to challenge for the title, but it would be brilliant if we didn't. I think the squad, compared to the other squads in the Italian league, is good enough to achieve that goal. But I'm not expecting anything this season. If anything, I want to have a good go at the Europa League and see if we can win that. But everything else, I'm not too fussed about. I just want to bed the team in and then bring in 1 or 2 big signings next season if we can, or in January if we get the transfer budget, and that will turn this squad into a title challenging team. We're 2-3 years away from challenging for the Champions League, there's no doubt about that, but I think we can qualify for it this season without too much trouble. But let's get through pre-season now. I'll let you know if any more transfers come in, and then we will play the Supercoppa final against Juventus. Well, it is time for the Supercoppa against Juventus. We're in the away dressing room, which isn't ideal, and the team did have a friendly just a few days ago, so it's not at 100% fitness, but I doubt Juventus will be either, so I'm not too worried about that. It's going to be interesting to see how the new players do, though. There's a lot of new faces in this starting 11, starting with Raimundo up top. I can't wait to see him in action for our club. Then Florenzi pushes up the field to attacking midfield right, which is probably where he'll spend most of this season, I would imagine. Pires on the left as always. Kuro makes his debut in the middle with Asensio. Romero also making his debut backing them up. Traore, Musacchio, Koulibaly and Haisaj make up the back four. So Haisaj will hopefully start to make a claim for that right back position being his own. Murray in goal. I love the strength of this team, and I love the strength of the bench as well. I'm very happy with how this team has come together in the first 7 or 8 months that we've been in this job. It's absolutely incredible the turnaround that we've had to reach this point in such a short period of time. I'm just hoping these players bed in well and we can get a good result against Juventus. Now, the only transfers since the last episode, since earlier in this episode, was Bartoli, the young goalkeeper. He was an Italian at Juventus. We just snagged his release clause of £4.1 million to bring him into the team because our backup goalkeeper was unhappy and wanted to leave. So it's just a new backup goalkeeper coming in, nothing major there. Everything else is as it was before. Pre-season, if you're interested, was okay. Just a 3-0 defeat to Dortmund, the real downside. But beating Porto is quite nice. We've still got 2 friendlies against Torino and Capri to go before we kick off the season against Bologna. But we need to get the win today and another piece of silverware. Well, we are kicking off the match. It's Juventus who've kicked off. Bragança coming forward. I'm not sure if they've made any big signings. Haisaj taking 12 seconds of his Napoli career to get in a foul. But they've got a corner here, Juventus. Bragança puts it in, and it's gone in. Lamina nodded it on, and Versailles on the line has touched it in. I thought there might have been an offside there, but it wasn't given, and we have fallen behind just 3 minutes into the match. That is not the start we wanted, but Florenzi has a free kick. Sent to Koulibaly, it's headed out. Bragança's the one who's picked it up, though, which is dangerous. He's trying to find Dybala, the danger man up front. Haisaj instead brings it forward for us. Here's Kuro. Looking for that ball back to Haisaj. That's a great ball. And Haisaj whips it in. And it's gone all the way in. I think Pires might claim it. There it is. Pires has just touched it in at the back post. But it probably would have gone in on its own from Haisaj. But we have replied instantly. Nearly approaching half-time, and the game has certainly calmed down since that pulsating start. Although here we are on the attack. Asensio trying to flick the ball out to the left. It's Raimundo into Pires, in on goal. He's hit the base of the post and it's come back out. So close to giving us a lead there, Pires. We have got the throw in though. It's Haisaj to take, who's been impressive so far today. He could whip the ball in as well. Instead it's Asensio into Raimundo in the danger position. And that is what we want from Raimundo. What a name, what a player. And he is just going to fire us to so many trophies in this series. I'm happy to stay at Napoli for quite some time, I think. And he is going to be a central part of what we're going to achieve. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. The team not reacting much to the team talk, so we'll just do these little ones, which will hopefully boost them a little bit. Not an awful lot of reaction there, which is a bit surprising, but having a 2-1 lead, having gone behind so early on, is incredible, and we could be beating Juventus for the 3rd game in a row, not just the 3rd time we've played them. Our last 3 competitive fixtures have been against Juventus, and we've beaten them the last 2 times, and we're now leading in this one as well. Stamenkovic with the goal kick, sends it out to Vicara. Header won by Koulibaly. Now it's Kuro. Back to Romero. Koulibaly to Asensio. Ball sent over the top, but it's come to Kuro. Now Raimundo looking to turn the defence. It's Pires. He sends it over to Asensio with a lot of space, running at the goal. He's pushed it wide to Traore. Into the middle. Pires has made it 3-1. What a performance this is from the team. I am so excited for this new season. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I've got no doubt about that. And on the evidence of this, given we're in the away dressing room as well, there's no reason why we can't challenge for the title. Juventus look weak, but as I say that, Dybala is played in on goal, but Murray is good enough to stop him. When you've got Murray in goal, you're always going to have a chance. It's a corner now from Bragança. Cleared out by Raimundo. Pires will get it further away. He might even launch counter-attack here. He's got 1 player ahead of him, but a good recovery from Lopez there to get the ball. We will just make a couple of substitutions now. I think Asensio can maybe come off. We'll give Balbuena his debut. Might bring on... no, not him. Let's also bring on Daniel Torres for his debut, and Mancini. We'll do the full triple substitution because Koulibaly is a bit tired. And just hopefully we can see out these last 30 minutes with our 2-goal cushion. I would expect us to do so. Bragança sends the ball out to Moise Keane, cutting in from the left flank. Still going, but he's put that effort tamely wide. Bragança. Ball played out wide to Luan, who's caused us a lot of problems in the past. It's Lamina into the middle. Dybala's got there, and Musacchio has felled him. He's already on a yellow card, and he needs to be careful. But it means that Dybala will get the chance from the penalty spot to close the gap with 20 minutes left to play. Murray has already denied him once. Can he do it again? Dybala steps up, and Murray's so close to palming that one past the post. But instead, We've got 20 minutes to see out with a 1-0 lead, although Pires has pulled his hamstring, so he needs to get off the pitch if we're allowed to make another sub. No, we can't make any more substitutions, so Pires will just have to play through the pain. Hysaj on the ball. He's got people in the middle. He pulls it inside. There's Kuro in a good position. He can strike it from there, Kuro. He's gone for goal, but Stamenkovic with a good stop. Well, we're about 5 minutes away from our second piece of silverware in Italy. If we can just shut Juventus out for the last 2 minutes, we will do it. There is a highlight, though, in the 93rd minute. It's come for Luan. He puts the cross in. It's away by Mancini. Torres further away. Here's Vicara. Now Rugani. Forward to a man who I won't try to pronounce his name. Vicara, Bragança, over the top for Moise Kean. He's brought it down as well. He puts it in, and Luan had the chance to save Juventus there, but Murray has caught that one. It was straight at him, and it's now just 15 seconds until the final whistle. We are so close to another brilliant victory. Our third game in a row against Juventus, and we've won all 3 of them. I never thought that would be happening just 8 months into the job, but there's a full-time whistle. It's our second piece of silverware in Italy already. That is really quite impressive. I can't believe how good this Napoli team is. Both the one that I inherited and now with these changes, it has gone up another gear, and we really could be challenging on several fronts today. Pires, though, is out for 2 weeks with a pulled hamstring. That is really not okay. But there it is. We have won the Super Cuppa. We've stopped Juventus winning it. I wonder when the last time they failed to win it was, because they dominate this league. We did actually win it. Juventus haven't won it that much, to be honest. They've won it just twice, or 3 times since the start of this series, but a really good performance from us. Interesting that they've been hosting this in China and Qatar. That's really weird. Now it has returned to Italy, but very strange that they've been doing that for quite a long time from the look of it. I suppose it's just for the cash, but there you go. But that is going to be it for this episode. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new signings and where you think we'll finish this season in Serie A. I'm very excited for it to get started. And I think the players are incredible. Raimundo is going to get 40 goals this season. I'm saying it now. He could get 50. He's so good, and he's only getting better. Look, he really could be the best player in the world before too long. He's 24 years old, and he's still got room to develop. So hopefully, as the central attacking point in our team, he will be able to become the best striker in the game. And I genuinely think he will. So let me know in the comments what you think about the team, about the signings. Also, drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed the signing of Raimundo. And subscribe if you want to see how we get on this season. But until next time, see ya.